The unit circle is a circle that's centered at the origin. So here's the origin and has a radius equal to 1. So every time that you move this around with the unit circle, these coordinates right here is going to represent an x and a y. So the x is how far over you are this way, and the y is how far up you are. So if you're talking about an angle, we'll call this be x. How far you are over is going to be this distance right here. So if we know the angle, cosine of x, it's going to be the adjacent over the hypotenuse, which is always 1. So cosine of x is going to be the x value right here. So the x value is cosine of x, and the y value is the sine of x. So x is cosine, y is sine. So the way these angles work is if you have to sketch an angle. So you start at right here, you always start right here. And if you do negative 60 or negative 80, negative 80 degrees means to go down this way. So every time you move, this is going to be 90 degrees, 180 degrees, 270 degrees, and back to here, which is 360 degrees. There's 360 degrees total in this circle. So if you go negative 80, it's not quite to 90, because this would be negative 90, this would be negative 180, this would be negative 270, and then back to the original would be negative 360. So negative 80 is just shy of 90. So I make this arrow, making him going down, and write negative 80 degrees. So negatives are going to go down, positives are going to go up. So positive 150. So again, you start right here. This is positive 90 because you're going up. This is positive 180, and this is positive 270. So 150 is going to be 30 degrees short. This would be 30 degrees right here. So you're going this way. So make that arrow to show that you're going that direction. And then the next one, negative 220. So you start right here. So negative 90 would be right here. Negative 180, negative 270. So this is going to be 40 degrees up right here. And then 330, you're going to start right here. So it's positive, so you're going to go up. So you're going to go almost all the way around to 360. So you're going to be 30 degrees short of 360. So this is positive 330. And then positive 225 is go up 90, more 180, and then go 45 degrees more. So this is 225. And then the last one, that's it. Oh, I missed one. So negative 60. So negative 60 is start right here, and you're going to go down 60 degrees this way. So it's negative 60, and put your arrow on. So if it's positive, you're going to go up, and if it's negative, you're going to go down. And there's 360 degrees total. Okay, so now we're going to find the exact value of using SOHCAHTOA. So I'm going to zoom in right here. I'm going to do sine of 30 first. So first what you need to do is draw a 30-degree angle. So a 30-degree angle is positive 30, so it's going up right here. Then I'm going to draw what's called a reference triangle. So the reference triangle is a right triangle that has the right angle that's perpendicular to the x-axis. It's always drawn perpendicular to the x-axis. So I'm going to label my 30 degrees. So if you remember, the unit circle has a radius of 1. Okay, so if this is my hypotenuse, then if my hypotenuse is 1, then the short side has to be half of it. So it's 1/2, and the long side has to be 1/2 times √3/2. So I'm going to write it as √3/2. So last chapter, or last week, we were doing 1, 2, √3. Now I just cut these in half because my unit circle has a radius of 1, so this has to be 1/2, and this has to be √3/2. So if I'm finding the sine, remember it's SOHCAHTOA, so the sine of this angle is opposite over hypotenuse. So the sine of 30 degrees is 1/2, because 1/2 divided by 1, or the 1/2 is the y value. This distance right here is 1/2. So it's 1/2, and it's a positive 1/2 because the y coordinate is positive right here. Right here the x coordinate is positive and the y coordinate is positive. Right here the x coordinate is negative and the y coordinate is positive. Right here the x and y are both negative, and right here the x coordinate is positive and the y coordinate is negative. So now let's try the cosine of 45. So the first thing you're going to do is sketch a 45-degree angle. So 45-degree angle is going up like this. Then you bring down your triangle, and your triangle needs to be perpendicular to the x-axis. Label your 45-degree angle. So remember that the hypotenuse is √2. In a unit circle it's 1. But in our other triangle it was √2. So you can go ahead and solve it, but basically both of these sides are going to be √2/2, √2/2. So if you're trying to find the cosine is adjacent divided by hypotenuse. So adjacent is √2/2 divided by hypotenuse, which is just 1. But really you just want this x value, which is √2/2. So the cosine of 45 degrees is, well, it's x is positive right here and y is positive, and we're talking about the x value, so it's positive √2/2. Then we'll slide over here in the tangent of 30 degrees. So what you do is you draw 30 degrees. Notice how I went down this way. Okay, it's got to be perpendicular. I see people mess up by doing this. They'll draw a 30-degree angle and they'll go this way. Nope. Okay, the right triangle needs to go down perpendicular to the x-axis. So then I label my 30, and remember our side lengths for the 30, 60, 90. If the unit circle is 1, the short side is going to be 1/2, and the long side is going to be √3/2. So tangent is opposite divided by adjacent. Now, basically what happens is if you have two fractions that are dividing, you're dividing by this, you're going to multiply by the reciprocal. So the reciprocal of √3/2 is 2/3. These two cancel out, so then you're going to get 1/√3, and you need to rationalize it, so it's √3/3. So the answer is √3/3. And it's positive in this quadrant. And then down here, we have the sine of -45. So it's a negative degree angle, so you're going to go down 45 degrees. So this is, and then make a right triangle. This is 45 degrees right here. So remember your unit circle triangle, the new triangle is, the new ratios are √2/2, √2/2, and then 1, because the unit circle has a radius of 1. So the tangent is opposite over adjacent. So if you have √2, or I did tangent, sorry, I meant sine. So the sine, right up here, is opposite over hypotenuse. So the sine is going to be root 2 over 2. But now you have to look. We're talking about this distance right here. This coordinate is down here. So we had to go down in the y direction. So it is negative root 2 over 2 because x is positive and y is negative. And the cosine of 135. You're going to go 135 degrees, so it's positive 135, which is over here. Make your reference triangle that goes down to the x-axis. If this is 135 degrees, this has to be 45 degrees. So now we're going to label the side lengths of our 45, 45, 90 are root 2 over 2, root 2 over 2, and then 1. So the cosine is the x value, or adjacent divided by hypotenuse, so it's going to be root 2 over 2. But look how I'm in this quadrant over here, and my x is negative, so my answer has to be negative root 2 over 2. Okay, the tangent of 45. So I'm going to draw a 45-degree angle, drop it down 45 degrees, 1, root 2 over 2, root 2 over 2. Tangent is opposite divided by hypotenuse, or adjacent. I keep misspeaking here. So these are the exact same thing, so the tangent's going to be 1, and in this quadrant it's positive. Okay, the sine of 330. So 330 is go all the way around until you're 30 degrees short. So it's a 30-degree reference triangle. Go up, make a 90, label your side lengths. If the unit circle has a radius of 1, this has to be 1/2, and this has to be root 3 over 2. So the sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So opposite is 1/2 over 1. So now sine, look at the y value. The y value is down here. So the y value is negative. So the answer is negative 1/2. And then cosine of negative 30, going down, go up, make a 90, 30 degrees, mark your side lengths. So cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, so it's root 3 over 2. But now you have to look, its x value is positive, so the answer is positive root 3 over 2. And then the last one, sine of negative 135. So over here, it makes a 45-degree angle. So your sides are root 2 over 2, root 2 over 2, and 1. So sine is opposite divided by hypotenuse, so it's root 2 over 2. And we are in the third quadrant. The y is negative down here. This distance is negative. You're going down. So it's negative root 2 over 2.